Can't hear nobody.
I hear it coming through your computer, but it should be going.
Well, no, I have to mute mine eventually. What it is, Mr. Dillard, if we don't mute our computers in here, it'll create an echo.
Oh, well, do I need to go on mute?
No, not you, sir. On our end.
Oh. So
It's coming. Oh. So I'm gonna have to mute now. Yes, I don't.
I hear y'all echoing.
Oh, that's why.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, we're good.
Mr. Dillard.
Good evening. How's everyone?
All right. So we have all members of the board present, so I'll call the meeting to order at 6:30, sorry. We call roll, Ms. Fry, Dr. Dobson, Mr. Dillard.
Present.
And the acting chair is present. We cannot approve the minutes of the August 14th agenda, rather, because we have no quorum, but we do have an agenda, so we will proceed with that. There's discretion, likewise with the minutes from May and July. We can't approve them, but again, we will accept them as the prerogative of the chair. Announcements. We understand City Council has two introduced for the at-large seat scheduled for the 18th of this month. Next Tuesday, I believe that is. Monday. Thank you. And the applicant window was extended for candidates. We're still trying to get applicants for the public housing and the historically disadvantaged community reps. They have those been posted, Mr. Watson?
I don't know details on that.
Okay. Do you know Ms. Gonzalez?
Walker, by the way.
Walker. Did I say one? Got James in my hand. We will look forward to finding out what happens on Monday with council. So maybe we can perhaps once again have a forum. Just an announcement that we will have a presence It's also the Pride Festival at the Ting Pavilion on September 6th, from 12:30 in the afternoon, 7:30 p.m.
You likely won't be there that full time.
Right.
I will coordinate the logistics with the organizers and give you more specific details. But it is right here at Ting, and just like the prior events, we'll have pre-prepped bags and items. Yep.
Now we'll be out of town, so unfortunately I won't be able to attend, but hopefully others can. Item 5, board member activity report. Do you have anything?
So the reason this was on here is, if you remember a few months back before, I think around April or May, we had discussed the board members tracking events and time that they spent, whether it was from a board meeting to attendance at a community event. Dr. Fraser, I believe I saw that you put some in there recently.
Yes.
So I want to remind everybody, and I can send out that link again to everyone. It's just a way to log, like attending the Southwood event and things like that. And that way, the goal is to have a generic template that hopefully one of the board members will manage, who can monthly put those items into that template and be able to provide that to city council on a monthly basis of the activity of the board members themselves. So that was the only point of that, just to bring it up again.
Okay.
And I think that'll be more relevant and discussing it again if we have new members seated. Yeah. So.
And it's part of the plan, Mr. Walker, that we would provide that feedback periodically to council and to the city manager, just for a sense of the time commitment board members are.
And that would be up to the board, I believe, to make that decision. I will continue with monthly reports from this office, from the executive director's office. Those reports are a few months behind, admittedly, because the goal was to finish the 2024 annual, and just with some of the transitional nature of things right now. But I'm gonna have all those monthly reports caught up, and hopefully I wanna maybe go through those, or at least quickly note some of those, get us caught back up by next meeting. And then we'll continue forward month by month with a report from the office to you as the board, and then you can have your activity report to council or both.
The two interviewees are acceptable to council. Would they be appointed effective immediately?
What I don't remember is whether we had other people we wanted to interview other than the two.
Okay.
If the answer was that those were the only two that we were planning on interviewing, we would go ahead and make the decision Monday night.
Okay, great.
So I believe I saw the list that had 4 individuals, but it was for 2 seats. The other 2 seats are the,
Right.
so I think that was what I was shared, what was shared with me.
The at-large seats.
Yes. 4 individuals for the 2 at-large seats.
And my recollection was that there were 4 people that council had expressed an interest in, partly frankly because of the recommendation from you all, with which I concurred largely. But for some reason, I'm told we only have 2 interviews set up.
Okay.
It may just be because we just don't have enough time during the closed session period.
Okay.
Well, I guess everyone was right simultaneously.
At some point or another, we were all right in conversation.
Thank you. Anything else, Ms. Walker, on that, on the item 5?
Nope.
You having a burden cramp. Did you want entries on that for time frame? Where you could put up on the video, or was it just actual events?
I would say it wouldn't hurt. If you truly want to present as a board your full time commitment to the efforts and work of this board, I think email is part of that. I mean, we do quite a bit of emailing back and forth related to logistics and planning. Maybe it could just be done as a full, hey, here's how much an estimate in a single month, I've done an hour of email and communication.
That would be the kind of entry.
I think that would be easy to do, yeah.
Certainly emails, meetings, events, training, anything that comes under it. Ms. Walker, do you have anything on board member role discussion? I'm not sure.
That was just another item, again, from that same time period a few months back, where it it kind of went dormant, simply because it might become relevant again here as we have more board members seated. We had talked about board members having kind of a designated role to be the point person for various aspects like community outreach, policy review. I'm trying to let me see what training. And maybe like
Dr.
scheduling,
Dobson for that.
scheduling speakers, if they were trying to get speakers to the board meetings, things like that. So the goal was simply to say, hey, you know, what might you be interested in? And how could you contribute to the board in one of these roles that we know we need contribution to? So I think that can just come up again when there's new board members, but I just wanted to bring it up as a topic.
I think it might be better addressed when we have
A couple more people.
I have a couple of items, but I want to see if you have anything. Mr. Miller, anything?
Nothing.
Okay. So I invited Mr. Mendez here tonight under somewhat false pretenses because I knew I couldn't get him here otherwise. So I want to read a brief proclamation, and then Mr. Walker has a couple of things to give to Mr. Mendez. So this is a proclamation from the acting chair and represents the sentiment of the full board and the staff dated August 14th, 2025. Whereas William Mendez has been a dedicated member of the Charlottesville Civilian Oversight Board since its inception prior to his retirement, whereas he has served as the chair of the board, providing invaluable leadership and guidance, whereas William Mendez devoted countless hours to furthering the mission of the board in a volunteer capacity, working tirelessly to promote more equitable policing in our community, and whereas his service and many contributions to the Charlottesville Police Civilian Oversight Board have been instrumental in advancing its important work. Now therefore be it resolved that the Charlottesville Police Civilian Oversight Board expresses its deep appreciation and gratitude to William Mendez for his outstanding dedication, commitment, and service to the board and to the Charlottesville community. His efforts have made a lasting positive impact and set an admirable example of engaged citizenship. Thank you, Bill, from the board and from the city of Charlottesville.
Would you be willing to stand up and I can offer you? So the first item we have, we always need, you know me, I need photos. So the first item we have is just a commemoration of your time as a member of the board in its whole. It says the City of Charlottesville Police Civilian Oversight Board extends the deepest gratitude to Bill for his years of dedicated service. Bill's commitment to the work of PCOB will have a lasting impact, and we wish him the very best in his future endeavors. February 2020 through January 2025. That was our best estimate of your time.
Oh, yeah, and
Versions of the
if I run out of money.
There is a stand that goes with it. I didn't, yes, so.
We've instructed the pawn shops not to accept it.
Anything with William Mendez, don't accept
It's
it.
engraved.
And
We're
then,
not done.
No.
in addition,
Good Lord.
to commemorate your time as chair, something a little bit more specific to that effort. There you go. Oh, wait, he can get at least one on just him. I'm not, no.
And I'm going to email you these, James, so you can have them for. And
Yes, that would be
thank you,
great.
Bill.
Hey, thank you so much.
Congratulations. We are deeply grateful.
I don't know if you want to put it back in there. I think that way it's a little bit more transportable.
Long as winding road.
Box as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the second item I have, and this is, we are sadly losing our executive director, and we are tremendously. So this is a proclamation of appreciation for Inez Gomez dated August 14th, 2025. Whereas Inez Gonzalez, let's say Gomez, I'm not very well named.
At least it wasn't just me.
Whereas, it's me, it's not you, it's me. Whereas Inez Gonzalez has served with distinction as the executive director of the Police Civilian Oversight Board. Whereas during her tenure, she has demonstrated unwavering dedication to advancing police accountability and community trust within Charlottesville. And whereas her efforts to foster goodwill, often hard-won and always rooted in fairness and integrity, have laid a strong foundation for continued reform. And whereas she has advocated tirelessly for legislative changes to secure and codify the progress made, urging all stakeholders to work together in the service of lasting, meaningful oversight. Whereas she has called for reason-informed advocacy, reminding us that impactful reform depends on unity, preparation, and principled agreement. And whereas Inez Gonzalez leads with deep gratitude for the trust and dedication of the community and with a continued investment in its future success. Now, therefore, we recognize and celebrate the exemplary service of Inez Gonzalez, express our profound appreciation for her leadership and vision, and wish her the very best as she continues her important work in California. Her legacy of courage, integrity, and collaborative progress will long inspire all who strive for accountability and justice in our community. With gratitude and respect, we thank you, Inez Gonzalez, signed Jeffrey C. Frazier, Acting Chair.
Thank you.
So public comments. Do we have anybody online, Caroline?
Thanks.
Anyone here have a question or comment? Just a minute.
Well, it's hard to let go, obviously. A lot has been made of over the last several months of the defects in our enabling documents. And since I was one of the principal authors of those documents, I take those criticisms very, very seriously. And now I know what I did wrong. So if I did it again, I might do it a lot better. But I think what it will take to fix those documents is 80 to 100 hours of a experienced attorney or public policy specialist with expertise in drafting legislation. And also a consistent set of directions from the city government. Because the last effort was a committee effort, and kind of we got surprised by things even after documents were approved. So that's the last 20 cents you're going to get from me.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Caroline, no one's online. Nope. Any other matters before the board? We can't have a motion to adjourn, so I will just call for adjournment. Thank you all. Mr. Smith, did you have a comment before you have this?
The only comment that I wanted to make, and I wanted to come in part to say this, was that it seems apparent based upon a number of things. One is the recommendations from a number of people in this room. One is simply the difficulty we've had in sort of getting this thing stood up and moving. And recognizing that when we drafted the documents originally, we didn't have a police union we had to take into account. We didn't have, there are a number of other things that we now know we have to take into account that we didn't know we had to take into account when we were drafting them. And it has been suggested, for example, that maybe the easier way to structure things is around a model as an auditing model rather than the current model that we've got. I don't know enough about those details to have an opinion one way or the other, but I will say this, that when I anticipate when council and the city manager and whoever all else is going to be involved in that process in turns to get serious about it, my recommendation is going to be that it be something that involves you all in the decision making and the drafting and so on. And I hope that you all, I've been looking for, just personally, this is not an expression of council's views per se. Personally, I have thought that where I think this body can go without having to make a lot of changes based on things like police unions and Garrity rules and everything else, is to conduct a full discussion of the disproportionate minority contact report. And if there are some things that have to happen in the ordinance to enable that, then certainly that, I think we could look to that as perhaps the sort of the starting point, without getting into the question of whether we completely reorganize the whole idea. But this is also something where the three of you all in particular, I would like to consult with and have you thinking about it, particularly you got some direct experience with some of this. I'd really like to pick your brain before we go too much further. As well, I don't mean to discount either two of you all, but one of the reasons I wanted to put you on the board in this most recent tranche of members was because of that expertise. And I hope to pick your brain, even if I have to drag it out. So I look on this as, let's say we're beginning a gestation period. And that has two implications. One is nothing's going to emerge right away. But two is that there is some development that will be occurring, I think, in the next few months. And I hope that we can get everybody's input and make it a good result.
Thank you. And speaking as acting chair, I would say we would welcome that opportunity. I mean, I think so. Some of us that came on the board after the ordinance felt like, you know, we hadn't had input because we weren't here. But we certainly become aware of some of the contradictions and problematic language in there because it wasn't done by a committee. And so
it was done by Bill and me.
Averages and imagers.
Bill has sort of acknowledged whatever responsibility he may have. I have to acknowledge an equal amount of responsibility. It was you know,
drafts back and forth.
It was the best effort we could make in 2022, I guess it was, and things have changed.
I do feel compelled to say something because I don't want anybody to feel bad. Without those foundational documents, we would not have had anything to start with. We needed those foundational documents, and the fact that we now know things that we did not know then, right?
It's important.
Right, and so there is no blame here. There was so much work, and I need for people to understand that Mr. Mendez, Councilor Snook, and everybody else and members of the community who put this thing together should be commended for the work that they did. I am able, right? It's easy for me to come in a Monday morning quarterback with my more than 2 decades of experience, right? And I apologize if I came off as I was being critical. I'm just trying to make this better than it was. So it wasn't me being critical. It was me just saying, okay, we now know some things we did not know before. This is how it will work better based on our existing circumstances. And so it was never meant as a criticism. Again, without those documents, we would have had nothing. And so we needed them. And so I am grateful to everyone that was involved in that for having put that together for me to have had something, because I would not have had a job here had it not been for that. How about that? Selfishly speaking. So, and again, like I said, it was a lot of work. James and I, if we have done nothing else with all of the thousands upon thousands of pages of documentation that we have found, there was so much work put into this. So I know that there was an honest effort put forth. And there was no way for us to foretell the future. So I think it's important, and I love that Councilor Snook said what he said, is just to have everybody, all the stakeholders at the table to put it together in a very meaningful way. We have to include everybody, to including the union, to include the police department. and a few key members of the community, of course, the board. And I think you'll come up with a product that everyone else will want to emulate.
Well said, thank you, man.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Hello, hey, this is Mike Koch is here. I'm just sorry I couldn't be there. I wanted to be there. I got a college age kid. I had to get back and get him to school over the next 2 days. So I just wanted to, as you know, as this being Inez's last meeting, you know, just to really just thank her for all she has done. I mean, look, this stuff's complicated. I get it, and I won't dive into all the details and nuances of the ordinance and all of that stuff that you all have already kind of really talked about. But you know, when I talk to my peers in other areas in Virginia that have oversight boards or anywhere else, I can tell you that when I tell them, you know, like the access that Inez has and James and the, you know, and what kind of how we work together and relationships we have, they look at me funny because they don't have that. And so, you know, it's trust is very important, right? We all know this is difficult stuff, and you know, it's great to have someone like Inez that we could just have frank conversation. I mean, look, it doesn't hurt that we're both from New Jersey, so we speak the same language, and so that's always been helpful. But you know, I'm very happy that James is staying on board there because James is just a rock star as well. And you know, a good sign of a great leader is surrounding yourself with good people, and I think Inez has done just that. So you know, I'm gonna miss Inez. The police department's gonna miss Inez, but I know she's gonna do great things wherever she is. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. All right, any other matters? Not, I will. Call the meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thanks, Bill, for coming.
Sure. All in favor of adjournment, please stand.
Thank you. Thanks, George. And
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening. Inez, I'll be in touch with you.